than 60, but
It's
55 more than 0. But
Thanks,
they're negative
Frisky.
numbers, so which is it really?
Okay. We are here on Sandtrap, everybody, and I am gonna need to sync with Frisky Cow real quick because AirMech is awesome. On the count of, well, 3, 2, 1, and then go, and then we're gonna hit go on go. Yes? Does that work?
Now I'm at 52.
Now you're at 52, so now I have to get to 52.
The fuck was that shit?
I don't know. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Now we are synced up. I am here with my dear old friend Frisky Cow on Sandtrap. Our current kings, Apple and Killer, are on. This is their third game in their reign. They are the red team on the left side, Killer in the Alpha Striker, and Apple738 in the Steampunk Osprey.
True.
Would you like to talk about the Carbon team, Frisky?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
They are being challenged by BboyDeyo and Atyla over on the right-hand side. BboyDeyo in the Steampunk Helix, Atyla in the Envision or some kind of crazy deep-sea blue Osprey. Pretty cool, but it's carbon colored, so it kind of takes away the whole deep-sea element of it. Instead, it looks like something straight out of hell. Which helps because he's got the little horn mask. So Atyla, basically one of the enemies from the new Doom.
Ooh, Apple grabbing the box. Getting away from those balloons.
What?
Oh, God.
I don't know how I feel about it. He's having a moment with those balloons.
I know,
He
but
can't take them all three at the same time or he's going to get killed. So.
He can take one and heal up and then another and heal up, I guess.
He bops his friend Killer.
Okay. I don't know if that puts them ahead or behind, but either way, I like it. It is very interesting, and B-Boy actually trying to take control of the middle. Oh, crap. What?
Okay.
What is happening?
Interesting decision here. So,
but I mean,
this particular map doesn't have a middle outpost, so going for middle is kind of an interesting decision. Apple similarly going middle as well, going to snipe all of those Dillos with 2 Dillos of his own, as well as his little Osprey Hillbane.
Oh, but Killer getting caught by B-Boy at the bottom, actually. Helix missiles and follow, so he was finished off there. Pretty much everything is actually clear in the mid, which I have not seen on this map yet, so...
B-Boy gets a full neutralize on the Dinger post. Atyla trying to take out the top right, but having a little bit of a stumbling block on that neutral Goliath. So Apple able to capitalize, move in. So Apple is basically filling the shoes of Red Dog, but opposite side of the map from previous.
Right. If you guys were here for the previous games, Red Dog really efficiently took the Dinger post and approached the next post extremely quickly on the opposite side of the map. So, yeah, I don't think it's side-dependent, Frisky.
So B-Boy is... I think he's got his eyes on the lockboxes. He just wants uninterrupted lockbox streams coming in.
Right, but then you gotta realize also, I don't know who's familiar with this map or not, because I've talked about it a couple times on games, but the balloons spawn with the lockboxes, so... yeah. And Atyla getting finished off there, getting followed into the air by the Hyper Armadillo shot.
Apple's the Osprey, though. He's taking a lot of direct hits. Because B-Boy's a Helix.
But,
Helix doesn't care if you land and try to hide.
But the Osprey can Q-heal so well on the ground that the Osprey didn't care either, it seemed.
So, a little bit of a stalemate here in the top.
Is
Where's
it?
B-Boy going?
I don't really think this is a stalemate. Red is...
B-Boy is transitioning
really
into bottom. That's what he's doing. He's trying to zipper spam the bottom left, see if that's going to take care of everything.
And I think that's
Overwhelms the
enough.
red defenders very quickly. It looks like enough. I think he's going to need a couple infantry to follow up. Killer is responding to this. He's going to land in sword, but the zippers have already had time to spread out, so I don't know if that's going to be enough. The neutralize just isn't happening. It's as if these things are all on C rather than capture command.
Which is very possible.
And that's opened everything up for Red on the top right, so Red is pressed forward and deleted most of the carbon units. Fortunately, Atyla was good on pulling back most of their units, but Apple is going to be leapfrogging forward to try and take care of all those.
There are a lot of red units very, very close to the Carbon Fort, but the Carbon team could actually do a very similar thing, and actually already pushing out
Carbon's on Fort.
Okay, yeah, so that will force Red Team to react, and will that give Carbon Team enough time to clear out?
Apple dropping the heavy mines way too late.
Way, way too late. Oh, and
those are on capture.
he set them on capture. Oh, that's very interesting. That is very interesting.
That's a cool idea. I like that.
I do as well.
Provided that it's not immediately scouted by the Osprey and wiped out.
Well, it is forcing the red player to, you know, leave the main line of battle right here.
Yeah, not having an Osprey on this main fight on the Carbon Fort is really handicapping red.
And they're losing units left and right.
That, given that Killer has to keep landing, I'm surprised that B-Boy hasn't been able to get the kill yet, being that Helix.
That's why I kind of have pointed out that the Helix is not super great. The amount of damage it does, actually, right now has been weirdly nerfed. I really do think it does deserve a buff at this point. Yeah, would be nice to see. No artillery up at all by either team. Zero.
Well, Busters are basically taking that role.
I guess. I don't know. Killer and B-Boy here doing a 1v1 at the bottom. And B-Boy
just trying to hold his ground.
B-Boy getting a kill on Killer, Armadillo getting the last shot, but the Helix missiles really did him in.
Bottom left neutralized again, but should go back to Carbon Hand soon.
Apple and Atyla here at the top with this ridiculous Osprey battle. It does look like the red team is being forced to pull back a little bit. It's very hard terrain to fight up here, which that's kind of what I was hoping for, realistically speaking. I might want to throw in a couple more rocks or something like that to make it harder for this bottom team to approach the fort. Or not bottom team, but the red team.
Carbon really needs some infantry in the bottom left. They could massively increase their income if they just drop a couple infantry.
And the sad thing is, those zippers have infantry in them.
But they'd have to stop driving.
They would. They would have to die first, I guess. You know, once the bike explodes, why don't they explode themselves? Wow, Carbon Team doing a really good job here, pressuring, and actually Atyla going to go for the neutralize here on the back, forcing both Killer and Apple to react, giving B-Boy... What is B-Boy actually doing? He is...
B-Boy's back in the bottom left, dropping a couple Beppo probes.
There we go, taking that outpost back, but it will be neutralized by the creep, so he needs to set something down. Really anything at this point would do. 48 to 41.
Really? He had a Gaddy there for ages. All he had to do was socket it.
Yeah, the socketed Gaddy is
instead
ridiculous.
Going to take it, put it on the fort, and is actually banging the fort corner. Although the heavy mines, those heavy mines that were put way too late earlier.
Gonna go for a neutralize.
That's a weird ass place to put heavy mines in the first place, but it's like a complete accident that those were actually good.
I know, right? And like if they were set on actual attack, they would have actually stopped before hitting that because they were so close to the fort. The Dillos would have been in range of the fort to attack it way before reaching the heavy mines. It's crazy how the Carbon Team is behind 55 to 34 right now, but they seem so far ahead for some strange reason.
Because the map control.
Yeah.
They're able to keep good map presence, and most of Red's upkeep is still based on that top right-hand side outpost that Atyla has been, you know, 1v1ing Killer, but it's Osprey versus not Osprey, so this whole tank Tetris thing really kind of favors Atyla.
Yeah, Atyla very well approaching, leapfrogging, basically terrorizing this red outpost, this red army. B-Boy supplementing as well. B-Boy doing a great job splitting his attention back and forth between top and bottom. Gets finished off by the Hunter Seeker there, but I think Atyla's going to be okay for now. Just maintaining his own. How does the bottom look right now?
Had a good game on Sandtrap.
I know, right? I
so
thought this
bottom has finally been bottom left has finally been recaptured by Apple. B-Boy was not able to really lock that down and keep it out of his hands, but it's very loosely defended, so B-Boy would be able to take it back fairly straightforward.
Atyla taking the box, B-Boy getting finished off by the balloons. I think B-Boy might have been either scouting the second box or taking the hits in the face so Atyla could get back to the fort, but didn't really need it. The red team now pushing bottom. The bottom right's pretty much clear of Carbon units. Very, very close to being that.
Yeah, Carbon flanks are starting to collapse here. They just don't have enough units on the field. 2-to-1 upkeep advantage. Atyla goes down again now that the outpost is Red's control. Nothing on the next outpost. Expect Red to keep this momentum, and they're just going to forward those units to another place.
Yeah, red team does look like they have it in the bag.
That's a fat stack of Goliaths if we've ever seen one in the top right.
Funny thing is,
Red.
Go ahead. Red.
Red's just gotta bump their units over the ridge in the top right. If they have a coordinated drop, they can easily overwhelm Carbon's supple defenses.
I don't even know if they need to drop. Goalies are so damn health dense that they could probably just stroll on the way there. And, you know, the Helix Osprey combination does not really have the ability to apply the type of damage that, for example, a bomber or a striker even could with the sword and the melee. So, really, I think they could just spam the attack command and this game would be over pretty quick.
Instead, they're actually going with Bucky's on the high ground, which is another interesting choice. I could take that.
Yeah. Oh, but Atyla with a single. Oh.
Trying to put all their attention on that bottom right, but I think that's just a misallocation. It is the weaker position for red, but I think the easier one to overcome would be the top right.
Right. I mean, considering
Those
the unit
Bucky's have
numbers,
such a good angle.
They do. Wow, that is a great angle for Bucky, actually. Does look like the red team has determined that push in with the Goliaths is safe enough to go with. Moving up to the top ground, Apple healing up the lead Goliath, and this is probably going to be GG pretty soon.
And with the Bucky support fire, that's a lot of DPS.
It is quite a lot of DPS. And the funny thing is, if you look around the map, all of the remaining red team outposts are pretty much undefended. So, you know, a little harass goes a long way, and that is a potential avenue that the Carbon team could have taken in this game, other than what they chose to do.
So it looks like the Kings are victorious, but they may be abdicating here.
It was very close. I mean, at a certain points of the game, I thought the Carbon team was going to take it. But Apple and Killer turned out to be too overwhelming for BboyDeyo and Atyla, and let's see if they are too overwhelming for the next people that we have in queue. Should we have any?